everyone, and welcome to episode 149. We're getting ever closer to that 150 of the Giddy Knits podcast. As always, I am Helen and I am coming to you from Dundee in Scotland. And this is my knitting podcast where I sit and talk about all of the crafting that I have done in between episodes. In this case, it's been a while. Now, I did say at the end of the last episode, which was back in September, it was recorded on the 18th of September, that I wouldn't be getting an episode out in October just because I knew how insanely busy the month was going to be. And it was even busier than I could possibly have anticipated or expected or anything. But it's all good. So yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get one out then, but I was hoping to get one out earlier in November. But unfortunately I was dealing with backlog from October. But we're now in a good place. Things have calmed down. Advents have all shipped. October's clubs have all shipped. Everything is done and dusted. And I can breathe a little bit more now. So I'm back with you for another episode. Now, what have I got for you this episode? Well, let's start off with today. Today is Wednesday, the 13th of November. I like to do the date because it helps me kind of keep track of when I've put up episodes and things like that. And as I said, as always, this is my crafting podcast where I talk about my projects and things like that. So welcome back, anyone who is a regular viewer. And hello to anyone that is new and checking out the chaos for the first time. I hope you enjoy it. If you are new, I am the dyer behind Giddy Yarns. That is what this is. This is shop stock, not my yarn stash. And yeah, let's talk about some crafting. So we're going to start with a little announcement section. I've got some make-along winners to announce and some make-along prizes to share and things like that. I have got a finished object to share with you this week. I've also got our usual what's in the basket section, which is my kind of current works in progress, what I'm actively working on at the moment. I've got a fair amount of Yarny Goodness to share as well. And then I will finish off, as always, with some shop news at the end. Because it's been a while, I will probably ramble. There will be tangents. But yeah, that often happens, doesn't it? So let's dive straight in with announcements. We will start off with, what do we start off with? We'll start off with some winners. So I have got 3 make-alongs running currently. Let's talk about those first, then we'll do the winners. We have the Giddy Yarns make-along, which is my ongoing make-along. I run it every year, I run it constantly, and every quarter I draw 2 prize winners. Basically, if you are knitting any project that uses at least 50% of my yarn, of Giddy Yarns, then you can enter it in the Discord thread or in the Ravelry thread, and you'll be in with the chance of winning a prize. It's my little way of giving back to my lovely customers who knit with my yarn and share their projects, basically. So I have got 2 prize winners to announce for that today because the end of September was the end of the last quarter. We also currently have our Bingo Crafting Challenge running, which is a year-long make-along that I have been hosting this year. And we're coming towards the end of it. I can't remember what I said at the beginning of the year as to whether, I think I said I was going to definitely be drawing prize winners from the chatter thread because I didn't want it to be, it was meant to be fun and easy and low pressure. So there wasn't like, if you don't finish your grid, it's fine. You're still in with the chance of winning a prize. I will pop up, I will try and do that this week actually. I will pop up some finished grid threads on Discord and on Ravelry so that if you have finished your grid, you can share your finished grid and your project or however you want to do that in some way. So that we can see, and I will draw an extra prize from that finished object, it's not a finished object thread, finished bingo board thread as well, as like a little bonus for those of you that have managed to complete your challenges. But don't worry, prizes will be drawn from the other thread as well. I've really enjoyed that make-along this year. I don't know whether to do it again next year or not. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Would you like to see the bingo challenge come back next year? I feel like if I did it next year, I would have, like, I feel like having done it this year, it's given me things to think about. I know what I would change going into next year. So I think it would be interesting to do it again, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me know. Do you want another year-long make-along? Have you enjoyed this year? Would you like to see this come back again, or would you like to see something slightly different come back? I've got a couple of other ideas that we could maybe play with if you wanted something slightly different. So yeah, let me know. Then the final make-along. The final make-along we still have running is our Halloween make-along. That is coming to a close very soon. Technically, it's supposed to close on November the 15th, and it's currently November the 13th. And in fact, by the time you're watching this video, it will probably be November the 15th. But what I'm going to say is I'm just going to leave it open until I record the next episode of the podcast, which I'm hoping might be the last week of November. It may be the first week of December, depending on getting out Christmas boxes and 12 days and stuff like that. Depends whether I get a clear day to kind of sit down and record a podcast, or whether it needs to go into kind of December once those have done. But it gives you a bit of extra time. So get those Halloween projects finished off. And yeah, next time I podcast will be, will be when it has ended, basically. So, prize winners first. I've got 2 prize winners to draw for the Giddy Yarns make-along. I went on earlier and had a quick look at how many were in the Discord thread, how many were in the Ravelry thread, and then we random number generated it. And actually it ended up with picking 1 from Ravelry and 1 from Discord, which is quite nice. So first of all, we had Rokan? I'm not sure how to say it. I'll put it on the screen anyway, who is Anne from Norway, and she made a lovely shawl, I can't remember if it was knitted or crocheted, out of one of my Hobbit colourways. And our other winner is Converted Knitter, who is Lisa from the UK, and she did crochet a shawl out of my Poo Sticks colourway. So yeah, both of you get in touch with me, drop me your email addresses, drop me an email is what I was trying to say, or a message somewhere, and I will sort out your prizes with you. We'll discuss it. We'll work out whether you want something specific from the shop that's already available, or whether I just do you a gift card for something from the future. Basically, we'll work it out. So that's the prize winners. Now, talking of prizes, I wanted to share with you some prizes that have come in for the Halloween make-along, because I have had some lovely makers and dyers who have donated prizes for the Halloween make-along. So, in no particular order, the lovely Suzanne at Green Lambkin Yarn has donated a couple of little prize packages of Halloween yarn. There is Suzanne's logo. She has donated a skein of her Witchy Long Stockings yarn, which is a super fun kind of micro, not quite micro striping, it like flashes when you knit with it. It gets like little flashes when you knit with it. And there's also, I think, some little needle stopples or a keyring of some kind in there as well. And she's also donated another little prize pack as well with her Trick or Treat colourway in there as well. And again, a little stitch marker and possibly a little Halloween keyring in there too. So that's 2 prizes. I need to change my camera battery. That's what happens when you record 2 long videos back to back on the same day. But anyway, right, so then we had a lovely prize donation from Laura at The Lonely Knitter. And she has donated a few different sets. These are all from her recent Strange and Unusual, is it Strange and Unusual? Yarn collection. And so we've got these 2 which go together beautifully, both on her Sparkle 4-ply base, which is Peculiar and I Was a Bride. It'd be beautiful in like a 2-colour shawl. Then we've got these two as well, which are on her Merino singles base. So it's a 4-ply single ply, a 4-ply single ply. We have got Dance with the Devil, which is the purple, and Split Right Down the Centre, which is the grey. So they are both beautiful as well. I didn't put up my studio light. I'm just realising that. I'm hoping the lighting's all right. Normally I have a light shining on me to give a bit more direct light, but I've not put it up today. And then finally, we also have a skein of her Luxe DK base, which is 100% merino. It is this gorgeous kind of variegated purples and greys. And this is We're Simply Meant to Be. So that is that one. And there's more. So far we have 5 prizes. There are more. We also have this lovely package that came from Shannon at Blue Fern Yarns. And I did open it so that I could show you what it was. She has sent a skein of her Halloween yarn, and this one is called Ghostly Gala. Isn't it beautiful? Lots of greys and yellows. So that is that one as well. So we have got a total of 6 prizes there. Plus, obviously, I will be donating some prizes as well. Again, still haven't quite worked out what they're going to be because I'm like that. But we'll find something. We'll work it out. And yeah, so I'm going to just tuck stuff away. Hang on. That didn't work. Oh, just found more yarn. Oh dear. I said my Yarny Goodness was going to be quite good, didn't I? It's got worse. So I'm going to put those back in that basket, and I'm going to move that basket out of the way. So the prizes are now all in that basket, nice and safe. So yeah, as I said, I will close and draw prizes for the Halloween make-along the next time I podcast, because I am a tiny bit early today. So yeah, you've got, in all honesty, you've probably got until the end of November. I suspect I will sit down to record the podcast in the first week of December. I think that will probably be the plan. Right. Shall we move on to some actual knitting? I have got, well, technically I've got 3 finished objects, but I only have one of them here. And I'm hoping I've got photos of the other 2, but we will find that out in editing. So my first finished object has fallen off. My first finished object is a big one though. I have finally finished my Cozy Memories blanket. This is folded terribly, so quite how I'm going to show it to you, I don't know. If you'll remember, well, this has been on the needles for absolutely years. I can't even say how long ago I started this. We're talking probably 5 years. Yeah, possibly 5 years, maybe even a little bit longer than that, which is ridiculous. Actually, I'm wondering if I can find the centre. I can't find the centre. I'm trying to think if I could see whether the yarn in it at the beginning was my yarn or not my yarn, whether I started it before Giddy Yarns existed or not. Giddy Yarns has been going 7 years. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's been a labour of love, and I have finally finished it. So here it is. Now, if you'll remember a few months ago, I don't even know when, I showed you this finished but without a border, and I was starting an I-cord border. Now, the I-cord border stalled because it was just taking me too long, and I got really annoyed with it. So the blanket just sat in the basket for months on end without being touched. And then finally, the other week, I thought, I've had enough. This is ridiculous. So I ripped out the I-cord border, and I have now added a crochet shell stitch border, which took me all of 2 evenings to do, and it was done. So I definitely need to learn that for knitted blankets in the future, that a crochet border is actually a lot quicker and a lot more likely to be done. So yeah, there it is. I'm not even sure I can properly hold this up for you. I'm going to move my cup of tea because I'm really worried that I'm going to like knock my cup of tea over with it. put my cup of tea down there, and then we can hold it up a bit better. So this is kind of half of it. I can't see what you can see. There we go. So it is a really good sized, kind of a decent sized lap blanket. And I'm really, really, really pleased with it. If you remember, I've talked about this before, and again, I'm not sure how well it comes across on camera. One of the things that slowed me down with this was that I messed up very early on when I started it. Instead of keeping all of the mitered square lines going in the same direction, let me see if I can show you this. Probably not. Instead of keeping them all going in the same direction, I messed up and I got a few wrong. And then instead of ripping those out, I decided I would make it a feature, and I created a symmetrical pattern out of all the lines. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera back a bit. So professional. I'm going to move the camera back a little bit, and I'm going to hold it up and see if you can kind of see, you'll get a bit more of an idea of what I did with the lines and kind of things. You're not even seeing half of the blanket, but hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea. I'm glad I decided, I'm going to bring you back. Hang on a second, excuse the wonky camera-ness. Are we in the right spot? Yeah. I'm glad I did persevere with it, and I'm glad I did make the pattern work, because I think it would have annoyed me having the lines going in different directions if it wasn't purposeful. But because I know that I've made a symmetrical pattern out of it, it doesn't annoy me now, if that makes sense. But yeah, not the best idea. Keep your lines going in the same direction, and it'll be much easier. But yeah, that was a chunk. I weighed it. Because I wanted to obviously add it into my in versus out kind of thing. I weighed it and it was 1,030 grams, so 1.3 kilograms. No. Or was it 1.3 kilograms? If it was 1.3 kilograms, that would be 1,300 grams, wouldn't it? I think I need to weigh it again. I think it was in kilograms. I can't remember whether it weighed it in kilograms or whether it weighed it in grams. Maybe I need to weigh it again and double check, because I'd rather it was 1,300. That would be awesome. Anyway, it was over 1,000 grams, which is brilliant. So yeah, another blanket done, which is, should we say it again? Brilliant. Now, as I said, I had two other finished objects. I also finished a little pumpkin, which hopefully I have got a little picture to pop up. I don't know whether I do, but hopefully I did. I also finished a little knitted pumpkin. So I guess I can say I have at least finished one thing for the Halloween make-along. And then I also crocheted a little chicken. A little granny square chicken. I did a Halloween swap with Suzanne at Green Lambkin Yarns. We swapped 13 day Halloween countdown boxes, and we also sent a few other little bits and pieces. And I sent her a little crocheted chicken because she has chickens and I couldn't resist. So I'm hoping I've got a picture that I could have put up to show you that. But we will find out in editing whether I can find a picture. So let's move on to what's in the basket. Okay. So I haven't had a lot of crafting happening in October. So I feel a little bit like you're still seeing the same old projects again and again with a little bit of progress. I'm hoping from now on that will change, because I have now in the last couple of weeks been picking up my knitting a lot more than I was in October. So hopefully that will change. But let's start with my Halloween socks, which I've had a bit of progress on. I'm still on sock 1. But I have now put the heel in. So I am working with the Just Add Magic pattern by Kay Jones, and I'm using some yarn from Suzanne at Green Lambkin Yarns, which is the Witchy Woo colourway. So yeah, this is how we're looking. I love how this yarn is knitting up. It is beautiful. I went with a hot pink mini to do the heels, and I'm going to use it for the toe as well. I did a garter stitch heel, which is just a fun texture. So I just knit the heel in garter stitch instead of stocking stitch. And yeah, it's coming along. I'm not far off the toe, I don't think. I haven't counted my rows, but we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've done 5 repeats of the pattern, and I don't know how many rows the pattern repeat is. I think it might be 8. I don't know if it's 8 or 10. How many did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 8 repeats for the leg, which suggests to me that it might be 8, an 8-row pattern repeat. I'm not 100% sure anyway. So we're getting there. We're getting there. A few more pattern repeats, maybe 2 or 3 more pattern repeats maybe, and we should be at the point of needing a toe. The yarn is a little bit busy to really show off the stitch pattern, but I don't mind that. I was expecting that. I just wanted the stitch pattern as a little bit of detail for me, so I'm not too worried that it's not very visible. It still gives a little area of interest, even if you can't kind of see the details thoroughly. But yeah, that is that one. I really would like to try and get some of these socks done this year, because it would be nice. Well, I need them for my bingo crafting board, but it would also be nice to just kind of clear the decks slightly, I think, before January. We will see how we get on with that. Talking of socks, let's go for the other socks that I'm currently working on. And that is my opal socks, and I've done a little bit, not masses, like an inch or 2 on these. I don't even know why I'm really sharing them with you, to be honest. I don't know why I bothered. So yeah, last time I think I shared them with you, I was where the little axolotl is. So I've added maybe an inch or 2 on these. As I said though last time, if you can remember, it was a while, I'm going to put an afterthought heel in these. So that's the next thing I want to do, because I've knit enough now that my afterthought heel wants to go in roughly where that yellow, it's not focusing, roughly where that yellow, come here, there we go, roughly where that yellow, if I could find the word, that would be great, where that yellow stitch marker is. So I think that's what I'm going to do next, because then I can keep trying it on to get the right length in the foot, because I've successfully knit afterthought heels, but not in a way to make them fit me. But I've always finished the sock and then put the afterthought heel in. So yeah, what I'm going to do this time is put the afterthought heel in before I finish the foot, so that I can then try it on, and hopefully that will give me an accurate kind of placement, so I'll know where to put my afterthought heel in the future, basically. That's my plan. So yeah, and I bought yarn to use for the heel, which I will show you later on in Yarny Goodness. But yeah, socks have been picked up again. Socks are actually being worked on, which is good, because I had definitely lost my sock mojo. Talking of things that aren't socks, I have been working on my Halloween jumper. So this is the Tolster Tee, which is a pattern by Rebecca Clow, and I am knitting it out of a combination of my yarn and a 13-day countdown from Beehive Yarns from last year. Yeah, basically, that's what I'm doing. And I have very nearly finished the body. I am literally on, let me get some of these ends out of the way. I am literally on the ribbing at the end of the body. So we're doing well with it. I didn't need to repeat the colours. The 13th colour made the body long enough. I compared this to my So Faded sweater that I knit out of the Pixie yarns earlier this year. I laid it up against it and checked the length of the body. Yeah, just the 13 colours was enough to make it the same length as that, which I really love it's a really good length underneath my dungarees and things like that. So yeah, we are just at the process now of putting the rib in the bottom. She says, trying not to lose her. Now I'm really confused. I'm going to leave that. Oh no, I'm going to take that off and we'll work it out. I don't know what's going on there. I think I've slipped a stitch somehow by accident. I don't know. As long as I haven't dropped one, that's the only thing that would be a worry. So I needed like 1.25 inches of rib, and I'm maybe nearly at 1 inch of rib, so we're getting there with it. And then it'll just be the sleeves, and the sleeves I am planning to do in the same stripes as the body. And we'll just see. I want to do kind of 3/4 length sleeves, so I might not use all of the colours. but we will see how we go. I have a fair bit of yarn left over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this is colour 5, which is one of the ones that I won't be needing again for the sleeves because it's already in the kind of the top part of the yoke. So yeah, I've got a fair amount. I haven't weighed these, but I've easily got 10 grams left, if not more, of each colour. So I can definitely do another project with this as well. I think next time, so I am definitely planning on doing something like this again. The stripes worked really well for me. They really kept me motivated. I found that with my Pixie Yarns one as well, that the stripes really kept me motivated. I did slimmer stripes with this because I wasn't sure how far the yarn would go, and I was a bit worried about running out of yarn, especially because I wasn't sure whether I was going to need to repeat the colours or anything like that. But I think next time I try and do something similar, whether it's with this pattern or the So Faded pattern or a different pattern entirely, but next time I try to do something in the way of a striped jumper, I think I will do a larger stripe of the colours to use more of the yarn. And I guess it's just trial and error, isn't it, really, to kind of get to know how much yarn you need. And yeah, so yeah, I think next time, that's the plan. We will do thicker stripes of the colours and less of the contrast maybe. Or what I might do is do like a stripes and stripes, like stripe them directly rather than having a contrast in between. Stripe them directly down the yoke until I've kind of run out and then put a contrast at the bottom, or I don't know. We will play with it and we will see, and we will just experiment and have some fun with knitting some striped jumpers using minis, because I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this one and I definitely want to do more. Okay, so we have more projects. We have a couple more projects to talk about. We'll do this one quickly. So this is my secret treasure box blanket. This is the Secret Treasure Box Yarn Club Mini Club from Suzanne at Green Lambkin Yarns. She's the star of this show, apparently. There's still more to come, I believe. And I have done some more squares. So what I said I was going to do is each time I show this, I was just going to show the squares and then they'll come out of my bag and go into the other bag. And then next time you'll see more squares. So if you're a regular viewer, you will know what I'm doing with this. So basically out of every mini, they're 10 gram minis, 10 gram spark, no they're not, sorry, they're 20 gram minis, but they're DK weight, that's what I was trying to say. And out of each mini, I am trying to get 2 squares. So I'm doing one solid granny square like this, and I'm doing one normal granny square like that. And the plan is to put them together in a blanket so that the blanket will kind of alternate normal granny squares with solid granny squares, basically, but the colours will all be mixed up. So I'm just working on the granny squares, and once all the granny squares are done, then we'll work on assembling the blanket and working out what I do with the blanket overall. But yeah, we've got the 2 squares in that colour. We've got 2 squares done in that colour. We've got 2 squares done in this bright highlighter greeny yellow colour. And then finally, we've got 2 squares done in this like turquoisey colour. So yeah, that is coming along. That's another 8 squares done for the blanket. And my bag will be grateful for the fact that I can now take these out and put them. I have like a tote bag, which is collecting all of the finished squares in. And this little bag will be glad that I can now take them out. I have a whole host of them, the minis just in there as I get them caked up. And it's a nice little project. I love a little granny square project because it's one of those great projects that when you just kind of sit down for 10 minutes or something and your hands are just like, I just want to do something, what shall I do? I can just sit and do a couple of granny squares and it feels like I've accomplished something because I feel like I've finished something. Yeah, which is daft. I've finished a granny square and it gives me a little level of accomplishment. Right, the next one is not a lot to show you. But I am currently working on a gnome, and this will actually be a little, spoiler for my Patreons, because we're currently doing I'm currently recording a Can I Knit a Gnome in the Week Patreon vlog for my Patreons, and so far I have knit a gnome hat. So we have a hat. I am knitting Nola, who is the final gnome from the volume 1 of the Grimblewood Gnomes. And yeah, I am knitting Nola, and we have Nola's hat so far. It's a fun little hat. I'm hoping tonight to pick up and start Nola's body. That's always the big knitting bits. I think once you've got the hat done and then the body done, then it'll take you an hour to finish it off, basically. So yeah, I'm hoping to get the body started this evening, which would be good. But yeah, we are working on gnomes. I will talk more about gnomes later on, actually, because I have kits for the December gnome. So we'll talk more about that in in shop news at the end. But I'm hoping to get Nola, Nola should be finished by the end of this week. That is the plan. Because I need to knit her in a week for the vlog, basically. But yeah. I was going to talk about my Patreon very briefly, tangent, and just say that Patreon has now introduced the option to sell posts as such, which means if I upload a vlog to my Patreon account, anyone who is not a member of my Patreon has the option to purchase that video. So if you ever see a particular video that you go, oh, I really wish I could have watched that, but I'm not a member, you have the option to purchase it. And I think I've got it set at the lowest price that Patreon will allow me to charge, which I think is $3 US. So it's definitely still it's still worth your interest. No, it's still worth your while. How do I word this? You're better off being a full member because you pay, I think, $4.50 a month for the full membership, which gives you the 3 Patreon vlogs a month, plus our knit and natter, plus our book club, plus the giveaway, plus I can't remember if there's anything else. And you only pay $4.50 a month. But if you're not wanting to subscribe, but there is a particular video that really jumps out at you and you'd really like to watch, then I have now been able to enable that option that they're available for individual purchase, if that makes sense. But anyway, that was that one. So yeah, what else have I got? Cross stitch is the final thing that's in my basket. I'm still working on my Winter Wonderland cross stitch, which now is starting to feel like I'm working on it at the right time of year, as opposed to when I was working on it during the summer. But yeah, I've been picking it up, and I think I might be picking it up more because as we go into kind of more of the festive season, it's going to feel like nice working on a festive project. So I will pop a picture up there of where we were last time I showed this, I think. I can't remember if this picture was before I recorded or after I recorded last time, but this is where we are now. So I have added Santa and his reindeer at the top there, and I've started working on the snow and things like that. And I'm working on a couple more of the trees and things. It is always slow progress, I have to say. But yeah, there are a few more houses here, and I'm hoping to kind of get this section finished off by the end of the month, because we're getting there. We've got the big main section in the middle. I still need to fill in some of this water and finish the other side of that section. But this bit is a good chunk of the buildings are coming on. And I'm still really enjoying it. I know I'm a slow cross stitcher. I know I don't make masses of progress, but when I do, I still really enjoy doing kind of what I have done, if that makes sense. Talking of festive things and Advents, which we weren't really, I talked in the last episode about wanting to start an Advent project for my bingo crafting challenge. And I put it to your vote, and we won. The winner of that vote was definitely the calico quilt shawl, which I definitely want to make. And I was going to use one of the Corner of Craft Advents to make it. Now, the only thing I'm hesitating about now is I am actually debating casting on an Advent project during December and trying to keep up with one. And I'm wondering if, I I'd have until the end of the year to finish it for the Bingo Crafting Challenge, and December is going to be a quieter month for me, so hopefully, well, with the exception of Vlogmas, so hopefully I would have more time to work on it and to keep up with it and things like that. But yeah, we're getting so close to December now that I'm like, do I want to start another Advent project and then have multiple Advent projects on the go? Or do I want to really try and focus on one of the Advents that I'm getting this year and try and get that knit up during Advent as well? I don't know. Okay. We're going to move on to Yarny Goodness, but I need to do a little bit of a reset because I've got too much stuff around me and I can't reach the Yarny Goodness. So yeah, we will move on. We will move on to Yarny Goodness. I have a giant bag of Yarny Goodness. Now, bear in mind this is over a month, and this was also a month that featured Halloween countdowns. So yeah, shall we just dig into it? I'm actually going to put it, I think I'm going to knock the camera doing this, aren't I? Yep, sorry. I'm going to put it down on the floor because I think that's going to be the easiest place for me to reach into it. We'll start off with a couple of clubs that have come in. So I don't know if it tells you what months they are on them or not. Okay, yeah, so September's club from Wildflower Yarn arrived. This is her Myths and Legends club, which I've been following along with this year. Sorry, Myth and Magic. I always call it Myth and Legends. Myth and Magic. And September was Phoenix, was the theme. And this is the gorgeous yarn. That is beautiful. I love that blue mini. The inspiration image, because you always get a little postcard of the inspiration image as well. So that was the inspiration image, which worked beautifully. And then you also get a little sticker each month, and she always includes little stitch markers as well, which for September were these awesome little feather stitch markers. So yeah, that was that one. And then I also obviously have October as well, because that one arrived too. That one is here, I believe. I'm just going to check it. Is October? I think it is. Oh no, it says August. Have I shown you August's? Or maybe August's arrived late. I might also have October in there somewhere in that case. I can't remember. So August was Mermaids. I can't remember. I don't think I have shown you this because it was in the basket. So I don't know. I wouldn't have done. But yeah, so that is the inspiration image for August. And this is the yarn for August. Again, absolutely stunning. Really, really pretty. This is very much my colours. And you've got little seashells for the stitch markers for August as well. Now I want to delve into the bag and see if I've got October's in there. It may be that October's, actually I feel like October's did arrive. I can't remember. It may be that October's hasn't arrived yet because I know that she's been having some difficulties getting them out on time, and understandably I know what it's like. My October clubs weren't out until this week, so we'll see. If they turn up, they turn up. We will see. What else have we got? Secret treasure box. I've got a couple of secret treasure box minis to share with you. So we've got September's little bundle here. There we go. So that is September's little bundle. And then I've also got October's bundle as well. I am thoroughly enjoying this club. Really, really having fun with it. I love that you get such different minis each month, and yeah, just really, really enjoying that. I will leave these here at the studio ready to get caked up at some point. I'm going to throw them on the island. Right, then I did purchase some yarn from Wool Warehouse because I wanted some commercial sock yarn in solid colours to use for heels and toes when I'm knitting commercial socks. Because I realised when I went to put the heel into my opal socks, are they close by? Is that these ones? Yeah. When I went to put the heel into my opal socks, I suddenly thought to myself, well, I can't do that because my yarn is still attached and I don't have another ball, so I couldn't do it. And my brain just wouldn't let me put My brain wouldn't let me put a hand-dyed merino nylon heel into the commercial sock yarn socks. I don't know why. I love commercial sock yarn for socks. I really, really like how it feels. They are some of my favourite socks when I dig them out of the drawer, and I just wanted the yarn to match throughout. So I ordered some opal sock yarn. They come in 100-gram balls, which, to be fair, if they'd done 50-gram balls, I would have bought 50-gram ones, but I couldn't see them. I didn't see any 50-gram ones, but it's fine. These will get used over the years. But I picked up 4 different colours that I thought would work with this and with some of the others that I've got in my stash. I don't think they've got names in any way, but there is a kind of violet colour. There is a kind of turquoise colour. I then got a pale blue kind of colour, and this one was called denim blue, I think, or jeans blue. So yeah, so I got those 4, and I think I'm going to use, let's open this bag again. I think I'm going to use the, do you know what? I still don't know. I think I'm probably going to use the dark blue for it, but I'm kind of tempted to use the turquoise, actually. I don't know. I also really love, although there's no purple in this, I really love the purple with it. I really like how that looks. So I genuinely don't know yet which of these colours I'm going to use. The only one that I looked at and was like, no, maybe not that one, was this one. So yeah, I genuinely don't know which colour I'm going to use. But that's the plan with them. That's why I picked those ones up, because I wanted some commercial sock yarn to use for heels and toes with commercial socks, basically. So that's those ones. I've dropped one of them, but that's fine. We'll stick that over there with it. What else have we got? Bear with me. Oh, we can unwrap this one together. I know what's in here. And it only arrived yesterday, I think. So I just shoved it straight in the bag to bring to the studio today, because I thought to myself, I already know what it is, and we can open it together on camera. Get that fun ripping sound when you open a package. Come on, open, open, open. So I ordered from Laura at The Lonely Knitter. She was advertising her new, what does she call it? I've forgotten what she called it. Plush Fluff is what she called it. It is a 80% merino, 20% nylon yarn base, but it's a lace weight, and it's a really good equivalent for, let me take this thing off. It's a really good equivalent for mohair, basically. Now, I love the suri. I can work with the suri alpaca. I can't work with mohair. It makes me sneeze. But I can work with the suri alpaca. But I saw this and I thought, do you know what? I'll give it a try. And this is the colourway. This is called Travelling Companion, and it is designed as a colour to go with this year's advent calendar. And Laura and I have swapped advent calendars this year. I haven't got it with me because I'm going to save it until the beginning of December to share it on Vlogmas. But we are swapping advent calendars this year. And this is what I was leaning towards working on during Advent. I think I want to knit the Sleigh All Day wrap by, I've forgotten her name again, the dyer behind Lofty Loops. It's her pattern. I think I want to knit that, and it calls for your minis, and then during the sections, so you have like sections, pattern sections, and then you have like a garter stitch section where you do your colour change, and during that colour change you hold your mini with some fluff just for that little colour change section. So I thought I would use this to give the new base a try. It is really, really, really soft, and it's not like itchy nose fluffy, if that makes sense, but it is really, really, really soft. I thought I'd give that a go and use this to go with it. Yeah, so that was my thinking between picking this up. I did double check. I think I did double check, and I'm pretty sure I've got enough here. I should do, because this is 100 grams, and usually fluff comes in 50 grams. So it's actually 600 meters in this. So I should have more than enough for what I need for the Advent project. And I am genuinely thinking about doing it during December. So yeah, so that's that one. And then we are on to Halloween countdowns. So I actually ended up with 3 Halloween countdowns this year. And I had my first experience of purchasing something and then completely forgetting that I'd purchased it until it arrived. I'm normally pretty good at keeping track of my purchases. I'm normally on top of that kind of thing. I'm not one of those people, not that there's anything wrong with it. I completely get it if that is you. But I am not normally one of those people who will order and then forget that they've ordered something and then be surprised when it arrives in the post. I normally keep good track of things. But one of these I forgot I'd ordered. So I did order the Poison Garden countdown from Beehive Yarns. Because I absolutely love the Wednesday one so much. I knew whatever she did this year again was going to be beautiful, and I want to do something similar to what I've done this year with that, with this one. I've put it into cellophane bags to keep it in order. So this is the full 13-day fade from Beehive Yarns. It is beautiful. It is absolutely stunning. And yeah, I'm really excited to kind of put this into a garment in a similar way to what I've done with my Tolster tee this year. So yeah, that is that one. Oh, it's 2:30. It's all right. My alarm's going off to tell me to pick up the kids. I'll just set it for 20 minutes. I don't need to leave until 3. It's just my, like, you need to start sorting yourself out kind of alarm. And then there was one that I did completely forget about. So this is the one I completely forgot about. I forgot that I had ordered from Wildflower Yarns. I ordered her Halloween countdown. But it was a lovely surprise when it arrived and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So here it is in the box. It is beautiful. It starts here. And it went up like that and then up from there, if that makes sense. It is absolutely stunning. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this yet at all. I will work it out. I'm actually thinking I might do like one of those long cowls, a bit like the litmus cowl or the... probably like the litmus cowl, to be honest, because I think I want something simple and stripes. So yeah, I think I might do something like the litmus cowl and do like a long litmus cowl kind of style thing with it. Whether I put a solid or something in between, I don't know yet, or whether I just do them like next to each other. I haven't decided, but I think something like that with them might be really nice. Might be good fun to knit. This one came with a 100-gram skein for day 13. So you actually got... you got 12 minis and then a 13th skein was the 100-gram skein. If I could open the bag that I've put them in, that would be good. Come on, open. It's one of those organza bags, but it won't open. There we go. So this was the day 13 skein. Or maybe that's what I do. Maybe I use this in between. So maybe I will do like a chunk of colour 1, a chunk of this, a chunk of colour 2, a chunk of this in between or something like that. I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, that one is super pretty. It's very much my colours. Again, those pinks, purples and blues basically is me all over if I could choose colours. So yeah, that is that one that goes with that one. And then there isn't another club. There's just a final Halloween countdown. As I said, Suzanne of Green Lambkin Yarns and I swapped Halloween countdowns. So this is her beautiful Halloween countdown, which was inspired by Hocus Pocus, a film that I hadn't watched until October when I finally watched it. And I really, really enjoyed it and I would absolutely watch it again. It was really, really good fun. We thoroughly enjoyed it. And now I get all the references, which I didn't get when I was first opening the advent calendar, the countdown, or whatever you want to call it. It's not advent at all. It's a Halloween countdown. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful combination of minis. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with them. I'm wondering about doing a cushion. So I'm leaning against it. I started years and years ago a Battenberg blanket, which basically went nowhere because I hated doing the solid contrasts in between. So what I ended up doing in the end is turning my Battenberg blanket into a cushion cover. It's not been very well looked after, I'll be honest. The kids have had it and it's got stretched, but it lives in the studio now as a cushion cover. So I'm wondering about doing something like that with the minis, maybe like a crochet cushion cover or something like that I could have as decoration in the studio. Because I don't think there'd be enough for a blanket. That's why I'm wondering about doing that. I've knit, mind you, it was a 10 gram I did a lap blanket out of a 24-day 10 gram one. I don't know. I just don't know whether there'd be enough for a blanket. That's my hesitation. With 13 20 gram minis, because what's that? 260 grams. Yeah, I don't know, basically. I think I would want a bigger blanket. So yeah, maybe cushion covers? I don't know. We'll find out in the future. And then Suzanne also sent me a skein of yarn as well, and she sent me this gorgeous skein, which I am so excited. This will be my Halloween cast on next year. This is called Pinky Punky, and it is so fun. It is a gorgeous kind of peach coloured base with flashes of black, pink and orange in there. So yeah, that is super fun. And a little Halloween progress keeper in there as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep hold of that, and that's going to be my Halloween cast on for socks next year. So that is all of the Yarny Goodness. I know there was a lot of it. I have tallied it all up, and I have added it all into my thing for October. So in October, this didn't all come in October, actually. Some of it came in the beginning. So let's have a look. Yeah, so in October, we actually had a total of 1,160 grams in addition to then having another 480 grams come in at the beginning of November, basically. So yeah, a fair amount. Good job I finished a blanket, hey. So yeah, a fair amount come in. And you know what? It's only going to get worse because I haven't even counted advents in that yet. And I am doing 3 advent swaps with fellow dyers, and I have purchased an advent as well. But I don't think I've done. See, do you know, I'm questioning myself. I ordered an advent from the Yarn Badger, and I think I've gone for her like daily self-striping one, so you get a different colour each day, but I can't quite remember what that includes. I will find out when it arrives. But yes, so that was a fair amount of Yarny Goodness coming in. Yeah. I now need to tidy this lot up and reset again, because we are going to finish off with a little bit of shop news, I think. There isn't masses to tell you, but I did want to show you a couple of little things. Okay, shop news, the final bit. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was gnome kits. So as you may have seen on social media and stuff like that, I am one of the official dyers for 2 lots of gnomes. There is a current knit along that is running in November, which is for the Gnomes of Grimbled book by Sarah Shearer, which is the recently released book. This is different to the Grimblewood Gnomes Volume 1 and Volume 2. They are different gnomes in this compared to those ones. So you haven't got, you all have seen me knit Nedward, Neil and Normanda, and I'm currently working on Nola. They are different gnomes to the one in this book. In this book, we've got Noodles, Noddy, Gnarly, Natalie, Norrie, Nolan, Nicole, Nectar. Yes. So yeah, there's a whole host of different gnomes in this book, and there is currently a knit along running for Norrie, who is page 62, who is this one here. There is currently a fun knit along running for Norrie throughout November, and I dyed up a load of kits for that knit along. It's 3 colours of yarn, and I did 3 20-gram kits. And you've got the blush kit, which is this one here. So you've got those kinds of 3 colours. This one was intended for the beard. This one was intended, let me get Norrie back up again so I can remember what I said. This one was intended for the body, and then the lighter one for the hat, so that you've got the best contrast between beard and body. So that is the blush kit. Then we had the Sky kit, which is this one here. And again, it would be hat, body, beard, because you want a good contrast between the body and the beard. So that is that one there. And then finally we had the Dusk kit, which is this one here, which again, if I hold them up the right way, it would be hat, body, beard, but you could do them in any order you wanted. So I do still have kits available for those. I'm hoping to get a Nori knit up so that I can have her for samples and stuff at shows. Do you know what I really want to do? And I just need to work out how to do it. And I'm sure Sarah actually put something in an email about it at some point. I would love to stock these and be able to take these to shows as well, because that would be really cool. So yeah, I need to look into doing that. I'm not very good at remembering to do these kinds of things. So yeah, that is the Nori kits. Then there is the December Mystery Gnome event, which if you have followed my channel for a while, you'll know about it, because I think I was an official dyer last year. Was I a dyer the year before? I don't know if I was an official dyer the year before. I can't remember which one was the year before that. But anyway, I have certainly knit most of them. So even if I've not been dyeing yarn for them, I have knit nearly all of the Mystery Gnomes. So I am an official dyer for this year's Mystery Gnome event. I know what the gnome looks like. I know what's happening. I've had a little snippets, so I've been able to plan my yarn colours. And I've got 3 different kits for it. So we've got the Cardinal kit, which is this kit. So this gnome requires 4 colours. So we've got 4, so they're a bit harder to hold up. So this is the Cardinal kit, which features a kind of burgundy colour, a pink, a light grey and a dark grey. She very much said that semi-solid, like solids, were what were needed for this gnome. So although the Nori kits, some of them are a little bit more variegated or speckled, this, because Nori is a very simple gnome that can show off that type of yarn. For the December gnome, we have gone solids because that is what Sarah suggested. And having seen the gnome, I can see why she suggested solids. So if you purchase a kit, on the front of the kit will be a sticker that will tell you which colour I recommend for which colour in the pattern. So like colour 1 is, I can't remember exactly, but colour 1 would be the burgundy, colour 2 would be the dark grey or whatever. So you will have an idea as to kind of which colour to put for which one to get the best contrasts where you need contrasts and things like that. So that is the Cardinal kit. And then we also have the Festive kit, which is this one here. I love this one. It's a really good one for a December gnome, and I think it's going to work really, really well with the pattern as well. So we've got a dark and a light grey, and then a red and a kind of bit of pink. Although the pink is technically a light red because it is the same dye in both of these, just at different concentrations. These are completely different dyes, but it still works. But yeah, so that is the Festive kit. And then the final kit we have is the Neapolitan kit, which is this one here. This is what I think I'm going to be using to knit my gnome, because it just is fun. And as soon as I saw it dyed up, I was like, that's Neapolitan ice cream. So yeah, that's the Neapolitan kit. And again, I think that's the one that I'm going to be using to dye my gnome, to knit my gnome with. I'm definitely planning on joining in because it's always really, really, really good fun. So yeah, gnome kits are on the website. They're ready to ship. I will get them out to you as quick as I can. There's still a fair amount of each, I think. We're a little bit low on these ones, the Festive ones. But there's plenty of Neapolitan and there's a fair amount of Nori ones as well. It has been a little bit confusing, I think, having both the Nori and the December gnome kits on the website at the same time, but I've tried to make it clear in the listings which ones are which and linked to the patterns and stuff like that, so hopefully it's all right. The other thing I've got open at the moment, I'll shift this way, is pre-order for my City Nights colourway. This was the Glasgow School of Yarn exclusive colourway. It sold out at the show, and I promised a pre-order, and then my supplier had sold out of the yarn base, so I had to wait until it came back into stock. It has now arrived today. I knew it was coming today, so I put the pre-order up last night. I'm going to leave the pre-order up until, I think I said like the 24th of November or something like that, and they'll ship out by, I think I said the 11th of December. I'll dye them up in the first week of December basically, but I have the yarn for it now, so that is all good. And the pre-order is there. I have limited the pre-order as to how much I've got. So basically I've bought 3 kilograms, so 30 skeins of each of the yarn bases. But if I sell more than that, well, I can't sell more than that. I've limited it to that basically. If I sell 30, they're sold out, because I don't trust, because they're new bases and they're proving very popular. I don't trust that if I take a pre-order, I can get them in. Do you know what I mean? I don't trust them not to sell out again, basically. So I want to limit the pre-order to what I actually physically have in stock. Most of the bases I use, I'm not too worried about, because generally they're always in stock. They always have enough. And I very, very rarely have a time where I contact them and say, I need this. And they go, oh no, it's sold out. Because I tend to use the more popular bases. But some of the more kind of unique, different bases, they keep lower stock levels of, so it's easier for them to run out, and I didn't want to risk that basically. But I don't think I'm going to get more than 30 skeins pre-ordered on each of the bases, so it should be fine. So that's that one. Oh yeah, I'll put the pictures up. I've got it on the Neon Neps on 4-ply and DK. And I've also got it on the boot clay. They're the 3 kind of unusual bases that I don't generally tend to stock. I'm also offering it on sparkle and on merino nylon, but I don't have a picture of it on merino nylon because I never actually dyed it up on that. And I don't have any to physically show you because it all sold out and I didn't keep any for myself. But yeah, that pre-order is up. And then the other thing I was going to mention was Glasgow restock. Most of this yarn isn't on my website because I haven't had time to sit and do a stock check. I need to sit and do a stock check and count yarn and get it all relisted back on my website. Yeah, that is just one of the big things that I really, really, really need to do. So I'm hoping next week. So next week, my plan is I'm going to be dyeing lots of yarn next week, clubs and Christmas boxes and 12 days boxes and all of that kind of thing. But in my in-between times, while I'm not dyeing the yarn, I haven't got a lot on, which means I should be able to get my stock check done and get stuff back online. So that is coming soon. Hopefully in the next week. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think that's everything. It feels like, I don't know, because I've recorded it in so many little chunks. I've got absolutely no idea how long this video actually is, but it's probably a fair chunk. So if you've got to the end of this video, not only let me know, I asked you a question earlier about the Bingo Crafting Challenge and year-long knit-alongs. Let me know your thoughts about that. Do you want something different, or do you want the Bingo Crafting Challenge again? Let me know in the comments below. That's my alarm going off again. I've now got 10 minutes until I need to collect the kids. Let me know in the comments down below about that. And if you have got to the end of the video, please leave me a calm emoji. I'll let you work that out yourself because I quite enjoy seeing what you come up with when there isn't a specific emoji mentioned. But leave me a calm emoji because the chaos has ended. I've now got 4 days off. The kids have got inset days tomorrow and Friday. So I'm having days off, which I'm really looking forward to, as well as the weekend. And I can actually take it and relax because the chaos has passed. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing your calm emoji, and I will see you again soon, hopefully. Bye.